What's going on, y'all? This is your host, Chrissy, with Talking Thick with Chrissy. It's been about 2 weeks since I've been live, but here I am. How y'all been out there in the internet world? So tonight, we are talking thick with Dionne Reeves. Talking Thick with Chrissy was created to have thick conversations, celebrate small wins, and just have a good time entertaining y'all. So we are here tonight with Dionne Reeves, plus size model of full figured fierce. I almost messed that up. Today has been a day, y'all. I drove down from Alabama to Atlanta, and I went and had me a massage today. I had some self-care, and that was my first time ever having a therapeutic massage, and it was awesome. Atlanta Curves, shout out to you, Danny. It was awesome. So I am going to give Dion the floor. We're gonna let her tell us a little bit about herself. I know a little bit about her. Me and her met years ago. She did a plus size fashion show that I was at present at, and I was actually working for Bold Plus magazine. Shout out to Lanita Mitchell Blackwell. And that was my first time going to a plus size fashion show. I enjoyed it, but I haven't been back since. She is having one in June of this year that I will be attending. But I'm going to let her take the floor and tell us a little bit about herself.
So hey y'all, hey, it's your girl Dion of Full Figure Fierce. I am I've been a plus size, well, I've been a model since I was about 15. I am about to turn 50 in June. So I've been doing this quite a long time. I started Full Figure Fierce in honor of my daughter. So if you ever see me with butterflies, that's what that is. It's for my skyfly. I started this organization, Full Figure Fierce, because my daughter has a very rare disease called acromegaly. And basically what it is giantism. And so at 5 years old, she was extremely tall, like extremely tall. And so once we found out what was going on with her, it wasn't the children that were mean to her, it was more of the adults. And because I have experienced bullying uh, from people in my family, basically my mother, I know what that feels like to have an adult talk to you crazy and make you feel like you're less than. So I started Full Figure Fierce in honor of her, because I had to teach her how to love herself through no matter what was going on. I had to teach her how to love every part of her, even the parts that she thought was imperfect. Um, and my husband, who has now passed away, he said, listen, if you could do that for her and teach her how to love herself, then you probably need to be doing it for some other people. So that's how Full Figure Fear started.
All right, you just gave me goosebumps when you said that. Um,
I'm sorry.
Listen, it's all right. I went through bullying, when I was in school, and it honestly almost took me to the point where I didn't want to be here anymore. I wrote my mom a letter, and God rest her soul, she kept that letter, and she still had it to the day that she passed away. It's somewhere in her items, and I'm gonna find it. But I wrote her a letter and
Yeah.
told her I didn't want to be here anymore. I got tired of being picked on, and it was both the children and the adults. And the thing about that is that the adults know better. The children
Yes.
learn from the environment that they're in. They don't just are not born picking up on people, picking at people. So it's their
Yeah.
environment that have taught them that. And it's sad because everybody has something unique about them, whatever it may be. Everybody in this world has something unique about them. And it's hard to embrace that when you have the outside world looking down on you and making fun of you. So I'm
Absolutely.
thankful that we have people like you in the industry of plus size modeling. And I know it's just not modeling. I know it has to be some other things that you do as well to build confidence, to empower those young girls, even the women, because even at the age that I'm at, I'm 53. I'll be
Come on,
54.
girl.
I look good. I'll be 54 my birthday. Yes, ma'am.
Come
But I had a hard time dealing with my size. And I didn't start
on.
feeling the confidence until I actually lost weight.
Mhm.
But I have a friend of mine, me and her are both plus size. And when I met her, Regina Sunshine, you know who you are. I know you watching. Um, she inspired me. Her confidence was through the roof. And I'm like, how are you so confident? I didn't have that. But that confidence plays a part in your childhood of how you grow up
Yes.
and what's being instilled in you. And I didn't have that growing up. So it's been hard for me. Everything negative stuck. Everything. And I still have a hard time.
Yeah.
So in your growing up, did you have anybody that inspired you or who motivated you to push forward although you were plus size?
So the crazy thing is, I was smaller as a child,
Okay.
but it wasn't, I didn't become like a plus size woman until, um, I'll say about 2020, because I have a disease called Graves' disease. And so with Graves, you can be up 1 minute
Mm-hmm.
and down the next. Like I can literally gain 10 pounds overnight. That's what
Oh
it feels like
wow.
because your body swells and all of that stuff. So it didn't really like stick with me until I had my last daughter, and it's a difference. It really, people treat you differently. I'm still the same person. There's, if my heart is good, my heart is good. But to answer your question, even though I was smaller, it wasn't necessarily me being plus,
Mm-hmm.
if you want to say that, but it was being compared to someone who was prettier, smarter, or richer, anything you can think of. So basically, it was, to be honest with you, and I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. It was literally my mother pitting me and my sister against each other
Wow.
because she was the smart one. She went to Howard University. She got all A's in school. I have a learning disability because of the Graves' disease.
Mm.
Um, her eyes are green, or just the craziest of things. And so I didn't have anyone to teach me how to love myself. I didn't have anybody to teach me because I was raised with my father. My father was military, Marine
Okay.
Corps. So affection and teaching you things, only a woman can teach you,
Mm-hmm.
like loving your body and things like that. I didn't really have that. So honestly, I turned to the women on TV, like Diane Carroll, and looking at Eartha Kitt. And I used to
Mm.
follow the, like, study how they talked, how they posed, how they stood up for themselves. I had to follow them because I didn't have anything else. I didn't have anybody else to say, you won't talk to me that way. Diane Carroll with Dynasty, and when Eartha Kitt used to do her interviews, they would say, things like, do you need a man to love you? And she was like, why do I need a man to love me when I know how to love me? Nobody can
Right.
love me better than me.
Right.
So those are the women, those are my influences who taught me how to love myself the best way I can get that information.
Gotcha. I
Yeah.
understand that. I have people tell me all the time, you're beautiful. I love you just the way you are. You're sexy. I could never receive that because I didn't see myself as sexy. I looked in the mirror and all I saw was fat. That's all
Yeah.
I could see because that's all I was ever told that I was fat. I was stupid. I didn't know this and I didn't know that. and I didn't
Yes.
have anybody to motivate me. There is one celebrity, God rest her
Hmm.
soul, Neil Carter.
Yes.
That
Yes,
was my
honey.
girl right there. Oh my God, how she used to dance on the show, how she danced on Broadway. Her weight did not keep her from doing anything. And I wanted to be her, but I couldn't. I didn't have the confidence that she had. But every time I watched Give Me a Break, I just sat there, my heart smiling, just watching her laughing and how she danced around that house, how she moved. And I was flexible for my size. I was. But I didn't have the confidence to be dancing in front of people. I didn't have the
I
confidence
got
to stand up in front of a room and talk to people. But look
I
at me
got you.
now.
Period.
I got my own podcast.
Period.
Here I am. And I'm still plus size.
Period.
But I had to build my confidence up, my self love, my self
Yeah.
reflection that came
Yes.
from all the trials and tribulations that I went through. My journey was rough. I promise you it was. But God. And I kept
But
hanging
God.
on. I kept hanging on. And that's all I could say is He kept and He held me and allowed me to go through the things that I needed to go through to be where I am today. And I'm thankful. I am truly
Yeah.
thankful. And I know you said that you wasn't plus size until you got into your 20s. What was
Hmm.
that aha moment for you when you knew that, look at me, I'm beautiful, I'm plus size, I have flaws? When was that aha moment for you?
Definitely was not in my 20s.
Gotcha.
Definitely not in my 20s. Um, I want to say it was well into my 30s, all probably 36,
Okay.
like after my dad died,
Mm-hmm.
because I went through counseling. I went through grief counseling. And even in the counseling, it was like we were talking about grief and dying, people dying around you, and I was his caregiver and all of that. But it was more like she asked me a question one day and she was like, why do you, I guess I said, like, I deserve this kind of life because that's what I've always heard. You'll never be anything. You'll never do anything. And she was like, yeah, they can say it, but why do you listen? And
Mm-hmm.
it was like, I don't know. Why do I listen to that?
Right.
And she was like, I get it, that's your mom or that's this family member or that family member, but why do you listen? What is it about them telling you that you're not good enough, pretty enough, smart enough, whatever? Why do you accept it? You don't have to accept it. And so I was like, what the?
Hmm.
She's right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to accept it.
Right.
I don't have to absorb what people hand me. I don't have to eat that.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you offer it to me doesn't. And then I watched this episode of The Cosby Show. And so it was the one where Vanessa brought Dabney home.
Uh-huh.
You remember that?
I do.
When she got married.
Uh-huh.
And so they were sitting at the table, and Bill Cosby looked at Dabney and he said, listen, it's not about you. We would hate you if you were a banker. It doesn't matter. It was how you were presented.
Right.
And he said, what's your favorite food? And he said, I like a steak. He said, okay, I got you a steak, juicy T-bone, got you. He said, what else do you like? He said, I like mashed potatoes and I like mushrooms and all of these things.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, yes, I got you. He said,
Mm-hmm.
so I got your steak, I got your mushrooms, I got your mashed potatoes, I got all of those things that you absolutely love. And then I go outside out back and I get a garbage can lid and I put all your stuff on. Would you still eat it? And I thought about that till I couldn't think about that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to accept those things that other people tell me. I only have to listen to me.
Right.
And if I don't think I'm ugly, if I don't think I'm not the smartest, I might not be the smartest person in the world. I might not be the prettiest person in the world, but that does not make me a bad person. So
Right.
I'm going to love the things that I see in me. And so my counselor therapist started making me do love letters.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we do for your fears. You have to write yourself a love letter.
I like that.
And so in writing yourself a love letter, you have to do mirror time. Some hard stuff. And so with mirror time, you have to literally take all of this extraness off,
Mm-hmm.
hair, makeup, all the things that we put on to show ourselves to the world. And then you have to look at yourself and find 5 things that you love about yourself. And people are like, oh, that's easy. Okay, try it. When you really study yourself and look at yourself, you have to find something that you love about yourself. And then once you find it, because most people can't do 5, they can do 1, maybe 2. But once you find that thing, you have to then write yourself a letter. Because like as women, we're always waiting for our man to write us a love letter, do all of that romantic stuff for us. Well, write yourself your love letter anyway.
Right.
And so when I found the things that I loved about myself and addressed it to myself, I read it over and over and over and over and over again. Because if you really think about it, when somebody says you're fat, you're ugly, you're this, you're that, you're this, it's repetition. So if it works in the negative, it can also work in the positive. So I started talking to myself and reminding myself of that love letter and the things that I found out that I love about me. And it became repetition. Mm-hmm. You're not ugly. I had to learn how to not compare myself to someone who was considered drop dead gorgeous. Take yourself out of the room of things, out of the room of people that they compare you to, and just look at you. So as hard as that mirror time was, it became empowerment to me, because it was like, you know what, I'm not ugly. Yeah, my nose is bigger than most people. Okay. But I never had a problem having somebody compliment me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's not as bad as people try to make it seem. And then I realized that people only tell you those things because it's what they're really thinking about themselves.
Right.
That's it. It has nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you. It is just them voicing their own opinions of themselves, and they got to have a target, and they're not going to do it to themselves, so they're going to put it on you.
Absolutely.
So my mirror time was very, very hard at first, but I still do it to this day. And I started with my daughter, I started having her write love letters to herself and doing the mirror time. And I knew that it was something. When I woke up one morning, I was having a really, really bad morning. And I walked into the kitchen, and she was teaching my baby girl how to write a love letter to herself, because people were starting to do it to her, started to bully her. Mm-hmm. And so my daughter was like, nope, I already went through that. Mama already went through that. We're going to stop this now.
Absolutely.
And that's how it started. My husband was like, if you did it for her, and now she's doing it for her, then y'all need to do it for somebody else.
Absolutely.
And so that's how I started. I'm sorry, I talk a lot.
Listen, it's much needed. It is much needed for other women like us to hear the confidence that you have. And I thank you for being here.
Yes.
You mentioned about the love letters. I've, in the last, I'm going to say 6 years, I have been on this journey of what we call life. Let's see, 21, 22, 23, 24, I'm going to say 3 years, I grieved someone that was still alive. And after going through that grief, I lost my mom. When I thought that I was at the end of like, I'm okay. And then boom, life happened and my
Yeah.
whole world crashed. My confidence level is not where I want it to be.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that you mentioned about the love letters. Um, and I want to take you up on that to help me build my confidence back up because
Yes.
my confidence is not going to be the same as it was. It's going to be different because I know that I'm stronger now, but I lost the confidence somewhere. I know that I'm beautiful. I know that I'm this loving
Yes.
person, but there's a part of me that is still not strong enough to do certain things. So I'm gonna take you up on that to help me build up
Yes,
my
ma'am.
confidence. And I really mean that. Whenever you want to start with me, I'm ready.
Yes.
I am ready because I need it.
I would love to help you.
Yeah. I watch you from a distance. um, what they say? I'm your stalker.
Oh, I'm not a typical girl.
I am your stalker. But I watch you, and I've been actually looking at your page and listening to looking at your videos that you've been doing for the upcoming fashion show that you're doing, and how people have
Yes.
been blessing you, sponsoring your show, and that is such a
Yes.
blessing because you mentioned the women that they want to build up their confidence. They want to do something different, but they don't want to wear high heels. They don't want to sashay down the runway with high heels. They want to
That's
wear.
it.
They want to be comfortable. And I
That's
love
it.
the fact that you have embraced that with your sponsors. Like, I need somebody to help me build up these women
Yeah.
in who they already are. That
That's
was
it.
when I read that, I'm like, wow. And it's not too many people. And I know the plus size industry, the modeling is there, but you still have the people that are not modeling. They
That's it.
don't have that confidence. They don't have somebody in their life to build them up. My friend Regina always talks about affirmations. She's the affirmation
Hmm.
queen. And she got me I was taught we have I'm taking her public speaking class. And
Oh, okay.
me and her was just talking about affirmations. I know I don't know if you've seen my page or seen my grandbaby or her little bad
Hmm.
self. She has eczema really bad. And at 3 years old, she said to me, she doesn't call me grandma. She calls me
Uh-huh.
Hami. Her name is Harmony. And she gave me the name Harmy. So that's what she
Oh,
calls me. And at 3 years old, she said, they're going to think that I'm ugly. At 3, she's 6 now. But her skin was so horrible. She was scratching pretty much holes in her skin. Her was turning black. One day she woke up, Dion, and she had white stuff, caked up white stuff all around her mouth. And I cried. I went to my sister's house for Christmas one year, and Harmony was sleeping in the bed with me. And she had woke up and I didn't even know it. And in the middle of the night she had been scratching. And when I woke up, she had blood all over the sheets because she had been scratching so bad. When I tell you, that tore me up so badly. I cried. My sister said it's gonna be okay because as a grandmother, I have done all I could do for her. There was nothing else that I can do. I'm thankful that now the doctor that I've taken her to, she's now taking Dupixent, and it has
okay.
helped. She does not itch like she used to. The itching has
Yeah.
become minimal, but I want her to be confident in herself. I want to instill in her what I didn't have instilled in me. And it
Yeah.
starts, you can start as young as when they start understanding you. And
Absolutely.
that's pretty much when they're infants, even when they're in the womb. Cuz I did that with my boys. I talked to
Hmm.
them and they was like they didn't understand. but they
Yeah.
was listening because as they grew, everything that I told them, they kept it. Both of them
That's
just,
it.
Mommy, you got to cut the ties. I'm good. But I want to give her what I didn't have. I want to start building up her confidence because even though she's small, she's not, a big little girl. She's really small. She's going to go through that phase in her life where she doesn't think she's pretty because she already went through it at 3 years old. And I don't want her to not love herself. So I want to start her early. What was the youngest person that you taught how to build up their confidence?
I want to say she was in middle school,
Okay.
like where they could really understand what I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
She was in middle school. I used to, I've been in retail for years, and this little girl came in my store with her mom, and she's still on my Instagram to this day. I love that baby so much. Her name is Chris. She was coming in to look for clothes, but it was like everything she put on, she would just go, "Baby, do you like this?" "It's okay." And I was like, "What's going on?" So her mom was like, "Well, go over there and look and see if you like those dresses over there." And she was like, she's being, bullied at school and talked to and all of that stuff. And so I just kept calling her. I don't even call her by name. Her name is Beautiful to me. Mm-hmm. That's what I call her. "Hey, Beautiful." And if you start doing it, they kind of want it, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Like it becomes something they crave. Her mom used to bring her back to my store because she was like, "I don't know what you did to my baby, but I surely appreciate it. And can you do it some more?"
All right.
Because if you talk to them the way you said you want to talk to your grandbaby and build her up, mm-hmm. I don't have to be kin to do that. I don't have to know. This little girl was white. She didn't know me from a can of paint.
Okay. She's
looking for a dress to go to a dance with, but she didn't want to. Her mom was kind of forcing her to go to kind of put her out there so she wouldn't, like get into the shell or whatever.
Right.
But she couldn't see herself as beautiful because she was listening to all of that stuff in the other kids.
Yep.
Baby, when I take baby walked into my store one day, and I swear to God, I did not recognize her at all because she literally was like, when she came in, her hair was all in her face, like she was hiding.
Okay.
And when she came in, she was like, "Hey, Miss Dion." And then she said, "Miss Dion." And I literally looked at her face. She was a totally different person. So at our store, we had like journals and like, how girls like journals and pens and stickers and stuff. So I bought one for her and I said, "Hey, we're going to start writing something to ourselves every single day. I don't care what it is. You can write, 'Hey, I love my smile. Miss Dion calls me beautiful. I'm going to call myself beautiful too.' I don't care what it is." And she had that book for years.
Wow.
She's like, that baby should be like 22 now.
Oh my God.
But the thing is still a thing. Like somebody had to put it in. And even though her mom was telling her all the time, when it comes from somebody that she doesn't even know,
right,
it's different.
Right.
She's always think, "Oh, mama's supposed to tell me that." My daughter says that to this day. "Mama, you're supposed to tell me I'm beautiful."
Right.
There are mothers who don't say that. My mother never said that unless it brought her, some people can say, "Oh, look at your baby." Yeah.
I got you.
So, hey,
I understand. I understand. All right, we're going to take a break and we're going to be back with you in a few minutes. I thank y'all for tuning in, and we are going to be back in a few minutes with Talking Thick with Chrissy.
Hey, Christine, congratulations on your new show. I know it is going to be fabulous. You know why? Because you are sister.
Hey, it's Gio, man, again, man. And I thought to myself, and I said, "Gio, See, what they don't understand is you ain't gonna keep telling them, so I ain't gonna tell you again. No. You're not getting no tea. No. A little bit of good conversation, but it get a little relaxed and all corny. No. See, it's time to get thick. Real thick, like thick women, like thick conversation, like thick money. We finna talk thick with Chrissy. Yeah. That's what we gonna do. We gonna talk thick with Chrissy. Go holler at your girl.
Hey, making this shout out video to my mom to tell you that I appreciate everything you have done for me. I love you very dearly, and I wouldn't be nothing without you. Can't wait to see your podcast. Hope to have my own podcast one day too. Love you. Bye.
Hey, what's going on? This is Big O from the pen to the gym, giving a major shout out and much love to Chrissy. Hey man, proud of you and your show, Talking Thick with Chrissy, man. Major accomplishment. Proud of you, man. Keep going, keep shining, keep grinding. Much love from Big O from the pen to the gym.
I want to give a shout out to my sister, Christine Adams. She is coming out with her own show. Her own show, guys. And I'm super excited for her. It's called Talking Thick with Chrissy. It's going to be amazing. Y'all better tune in, because it's going to be amazing. It's a long time coming, and she is coming through hot. Be ready. Talking Thick with Chrissy is coming to you.
Hey, y'all. Welcome back to Talking Thick with Chrissy. If you're just tuning in, my guest tonight is Dionne Reeves. She is a plus-size model, and she also has started her own business. There she is right there. Full Figured Fierce, where she entertains. She also teaches young girls confidence in themselves, how to build up their self-esteem, because she didn't have it growing up. So she's teaching others how to build it up on their own. And we were just talking about writing love letters to yourself. And I'm going to take her up on that. I need to write a letter to myself. The young me. The young me. So we left off with you talking about the young girl that you inspired. Can you think of a older person that you came across, no matter whether it was on, modeling or however it was that you met, that you were able to inspire her and build up her confidence?
First person that comes to mind is Miss B.J. Haygood. B.J. Haygood. And B.J. gives me a lot of credit. You built my confidence. You did this, you did that. But there was something in B.J. already. Like, she came to a model class with me. The first model class she came to, she was on a walker.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, BJ, what are you doing here? Like, you can't walk. Friend, you're on a walker. Like, what are you doing? And she said, I can still learn.
Right.
And every class that I had, she would come with her little notepad and she was taking notes. Oh, okay. And now BJ is signed to an agency. She is an ambassador for a boutique in Nashville. I can't say enough about her because, listen, BJ is different. She's a different one, because there's no way I would have had the confidence to go to someone's class knowing I couldn't really participate.
Right.
But just wanting to be in the room. There was something already in her. But if you talk to her, she was like, oh, Dion did this for me and did that for me. Nah, nah, baby, you already had it. I just pulled it out of it.
Right.
Because it had to be there for you to show up. So that's the first person I can think of. But recently, there's a young lady, and I won't say her name because I don't like to, put people's business out there or whatever.
Understood.
But she came to me at an event. And she was telling me, she's like, oh, you look so pretty and all of that. And I was like, girl, I look a fool today, but okay, appreciate it. But she was like, I wish I had your confidence, this, that, and the other. And I was like, but you do. Like, I don't understand. So after having that conversation with her, like we got deep at this event, and it had nothing to do with plus size anything. We was just out having fun. But she is the reason why we're having the section of our show where the women who don't want to be models get on the runway and build their confidence. It's her.
Okay.
It's because of her. So we found I think 3 different designers or boutiques that wanted to dress her just from what we were talking about online about, wanting to be that one of those people. So she was like, I watch you all the time and I try to mimic what you do. And I was like, don't mimic me. Do it for you. Right. Don't try to be me, because you'll never be me. And I don't mean that in a cocky way, right, but we're not the same person.
Right.
So you have to, if you look up to me, cool. I don't I don't need all of that, but I want you to look at yourself the same way that you look at me. Mm-hmm. This is not about me at all. This is about you learning how to love what you see in the mirror at any size. I don't care what size you are. You have to love what you see when you look in the mirror. Mm-hmm. That's just it. When you walk out of the house and she's well put together, like well put together, I don't see how she doesn't have confidence, because it oozes out of her, but she can't see it. The whole room saw it, but she can't see it. So I would say AP is one of the people that says I have inspired her, but these women already have confidence. They just need somebody to tap them on the shoulder and remind them.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Absolutely. And that's what I need. I need somebody to tap me on my shoulder. Tap me on both shoulders. Listen, okay. I need to be tapped on both shoulders. I used to wear heels, but because my knee won't, it'd be like, what you doing? I used to love wearing my wedges. Oh my God, I had that walk, when I had that confidence going, you couldn't tell me nothing. I put on my wet shoes. I was out there in the streets, and I noticed that when my confidence was up, I actually seen men looking at me. So it's just like they can sense. Still looking at you. Yeah. I don't know about that, but
they still looking at you.
I ain't looking at them.
You might not, but they still looking at you.
I got you. I understand. If I can get out my sweatpants, I got on my sweatpants today. But my thing now, I wear my sweatpants and my sneakers, or my jeans and my sneakers. Every now and again, you'll see me in a dress, but only because Regina Sunshine, she'd be like, you need to dress different. You need to dress to impress, because now you're going to be in different rooms in what you're doing. The growth that I have now, I have to change up my wardrobe every now and again. She said, you could wear your jeans and t-shirts, but dress it up. She told me I need to get me a stylist.
Okay, but that's and I hear her. Mm-hmm. That's business though. I'm talking about when you come home and take all of that off. Are you still as confident? That's the part I want you to build.
But that's what you're gonna work on.
I don't care if you got on sweatpants, tennis shoes. Bro, I can't wear heels no more. I ain't wore heels in 4 years.
So do you still model?
In my tinty shoes.
Okay.
In flats.
Gotcha.
Like, because at the end of the day, if you want me, you want me. It doesn't matter what I got on.
Gotcha.
So it doesn't matter what clothes you have on. That's just dressing. That's icing. Mm-hmm. You still the cake. That's just it. So it doesn't matter what you put on. Now I understand her. You go into certain rooms talking business. Mm-hmm. You gotta put it on for the people. I get that. But at the same time, if you put it on for you. Right. Don't worry about what they talking about. Don't worry about what they think. You still are the same person. They wouldn't have you in that room if there wasn't something already about you that wanted them to bring you in that room. Right. So clothes are They're cute, but friend, do your big one about you. Pop your collar. Because listen, I was listening to all of those videos that were playing. Oh, you big business, sis.
You
You
listen
big
to
business.
you listen to that first one.
What we're not gonna do is talk down about ourselves. We're not
Yeah.
gonna you can't do that around me.
I got you.
You just can't do it.
Well, I'm gonna be around you a lot more now that I've
Yes,
actually
ma'am.
gotten to, because we talked a little bit at your fashion show, but not enough because you was running around with your head cut off. So not enough. And how many years? What was that like? 3? Has it been? It had to be at least 3 or 4 years ago.
So I did my last show was 2 years ago. So it had to be longer than that.
Well,
It
yeah,
had to be.
because that's where I met Princess at.
Okay. It had to be more like 5 or 6 because my husband's been gone for 4 years.
And
And
he
I
was still
definitely didn't do nothing to me.
yeah, he was still alive when I went to the fashion show.
Okay. So that had to be like 2018, 2019.
Okay. Because that was
Yeah.
when I was writing for the magazine. And yeah, so it was around 18 or 19 then. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm gonna
I'm
have
gonna try to sit down this time because it's my birthday. So I need to sit down and actually watch. I've never watched one of my shows ever.
You sound like me because this is like I think this is my 5th show I've done, and I haven't watched any of them. Regina said you need to go watch them. I don't like the way I don't even like the way I sound on the phone. So to go back and look at, not that I sound bad, but I get that from a lot of people though. That said they don't like to hear themselves talk on the phone. Sometimes, like in the morning time, I sound like a man. Sometimes, not all the time, but when I sound sexy when I'm hoarse. I love to talk when I'm hoarse. I'll be sounding so sexy. I need to get. I'll be confident, but I sound sexier when I'm hoarse.
Okay, own it. That's what I say. It is what it is. Own it.
It is, but yeah, I truly am looking forward to your fashion show. I'm looking forward to you working with me.
Yes.
And there's nothing wrong with having multiple people in your life because
Absolutely.
different people pour different things into you. I have my Regina, I have my Brandy, and now I have my Dion.
Yes.
I also have, because she's gonna kill me if I don't mention her, my sister Kenya. I mean, her talk all the time. Me and her have gotten really, really close since our mom died. And it's so funny how when you have siblings, the grief affects everybody differently. It's yeah, and it's just like I be wondering, like I be losing my mind some days, and she just looking over there like she's okay, but she may not be. She may look it on the outside, but she may not be on the inside. But we talk about my mom all the time, and I've learned to talk about the good memories. We laugh because my mom, she was a hot mess. She was, but yeah, but again, my mom, pictures that I've seen of her, she could have been a model. But my mom thought she was ugly. And me and my sister both said it had to be something that somebody instilled in her. My mom was, when I tell you she was gorgeous, she was gorgeous. And after she passed, I looked like her. I've been trying to grow my afro, but I had what color? I think I had pink hair last week. This week I got blonde. They said blondes have more fun, but I ain't had no fun. I ain't had no fun. I ain't had no fun. I need to see. When I start hanging out with you, maybe I'll have some fun. Cause I ain't had no fun.
I tell you, I'm a homebody. I go to work, I come home, and I close my door.
Really?
I do not. This year is the most I have been outside, as they say, in probably 20 years.
Don't make me.
No joke.
My mouth fell open. Really?
I don't go out. I'm not and I guess that's why people look at me or treat me the way that they do, because I'm not trying to be at everybody's event. I'm not
Right.
trying to be at, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not a clubber. My dad worked in the clubs. He was a DJ. So I knew that life when I was little. You know what I'm saying? So I saw all the things that happened, and I'm good on that. I'm real good. Like, I want to come home. I come home and my house is peaceful. And that's the way I like it. Like, I don't go out at all. I don't.
I would
I
have
don't
honestly
club.
never have thought that. Honest, from not saying that you be out in the streets, but from your
Yeah.
personality and the things that you do, I really thought that you'd be out more than what you just said.
I'm a
Okay.
homebody. I'm
See,
so
they say
shy.
you never judge a book by its cover. That's why right there. That is
Yeah.
why right
Because
there.
I always had something to do. Like, my dad, I took care of him for 6 years before he died. And it's right after he died, my husband got sick.
Okay.
I took care of him until he died. I was a mom in the midst of that. I got a degree in the midst of all of that. I didn't have time to go outside. So outside to me has never been a thing,
Understood.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And a lot of my, I'm gonna be real careful with my words. A lot of family that I have love to be outside. I'm gonna let them do it. I'm gonna let them have it, because that lifestyle, it doesn't appeal to me. And I don't need to be in everybody's face.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't, and I'll be honest with you. Since we being 100, friend,
Okay.
you really want me to be 100?
I really want you to be 100. That's what we here for.
Okay, I didn't go outside because I didn't smile at people. I didn't smile because I couldn't.
Right.
I recently just had a whole new makeover. Baby, you're going to see these smiles all day long, every day, every chance I get. Pick. Every chance I get. That was the one thing that kept me from being, for me personally. Even though I build confidence in other people, that doesn't mean that you don't have your own issues.
Absolutely.
And that one was not having I won't even say perfect smile, not being able to smile at people. That'll tell you that does something up here.
Yeah.
And so when I got the TV show, the producer of the show was like, "Hey, we definitely want you, but you can't go out like that. I can't let you, be. I'm not going to put you out there like that for people to judge you and criticize you."
Right.
I got a whole new makeover, whole different me, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with it. And even in the midst of, like, they recorded it and everything, it was a lot.
Okay.
But even in the midst of me becoming a new person, so to speak, I was still nervous about it. I remember the post that when I showed people my smile, I remember the post. I was stuck in traffic going into Chattanooga, and we were in, like, it was gridlock. And I said, "You know what, God? Today gonna be the day." Because I'd had it for weeks. I'd had my new smile for weeks, and I couldn't show anybody because I knew they were gonna give me stuff.
Yeah.
The jokes and all of that stuff. I knew that. But there comes a time in your life where you have to say F it.
Absolutely.
You're gonna have to take it one way or the other. No matter what was wrong with me, no matter what was going on with me, I'm still the same person.
Right.
I just have a different look. And so if you can't accept me becoming a physically better, healthier person, I don't need you in my life.
Understood. Absolutely not.
I didn't go out because of that, but I just going out wasn't a thing for me. Like I don't like crowds. Can you imagine that, a model that don't like crowds?
Listen, I'm with you when you're right. I don't like crowds. It's too much. It's too much. And I just started getting back outside, you know, as you say.
See?
I was a homebody.
That's it.
I went to work. I took care of my kids. That's what
That's
I did. I maybe 3-4 times I went to the club, but the club wasn't for me.
That's it.
It just was
That's
not for me. I'm gonna ask you one more question before we take a break. What keeps you motivated and keeps you going?
My kids. Nothing. My kids. That's it. My son. I don't want my kids to have my life. So I do everything I can to make sure they don't. I'm not going to sit on your show and tell you that I was the perfect mother, because I wasn't, because I wasn't raised by a perfect mother.
Right.
So I didn't know a lot of the things that I should have done, or ways that I should have said certain things to them. I'm not going to pretend like I was the best mother. But if I didn't have my kids, I'm going to be 100 with you. I probably wouldn't even be here. Because once my best friend died, which was my father,
oh, I get that.
There was nothing left.
Right.
Like, I was married. That wasn't enough. Like, just being blessed with actual life, I didn't want it no more. I'd been through so much pain in my life, because, like, my sister was murdered 6 days before my 13th birthday.
Oh, wow.
We buried her on Father's Day. So my birthday, that's why this birthday is so big to me, because I've never celebrated my birthday.
Okay.
So the only thing, like, when my dad died, I was drinking real bad, and my son picked me up off the floor one night because I was drunk out of my mind, grieving. My kids have saved my life. My daughter, Casey, the one that I have the foundation for, watching her get up every day knowing.
Take your time. Take your time. I
Girl,
understand.
how you answer that question? Seeing my baby fight for her life every day, as hard as it was, seeing her get up every day was motivation for me. Knowing that my baby girl, I would not be here if it wasn't for my kids. I'm just gonna say that.
All right.
I can't express to you how important those 3 human beings are to my life, because without them, I am truly nothing. So that's my motivation. My 3. Jordan, Casey, and Kennedy.
Yeah, I truly understand that. You and I shared that when I first was diagnosed with anxiety and depression. Actually, before I was diagnosed with it, my kids was the reason why I was still here. It was just like, I thought about the age that they were at. Couldn't nobody take care of my kids like I could. So it's just like, you need to sit down somewhere. You need to figure this out. And I had a friend that's no longer friends with me, but he told me that for the love of your kids, go get some help. And I did. And that's where it started at. That's where it started at. So I'm smiling on the inside. I'm smiling on the outside now. Before it was just, I was smiling because I didn't want anybody to know what I was going through. You never know what's behind a smile. You never know. So yeah, we definitely share that with our children. Our children are the reason why we keep going. And now for me, it's my grandbaby. And on yes. On that note, We are going to take a break, and we're going to be
Okay.
right back with Dionne Reeves, my plus size model that's going to teach me my confidence.
That's it.
I hope everyone is well. This remarkable lady for me is a constant reminder that I can be a better person. When I need reassurance on those oh why me days, her words are golden. Her attitude is positive and uplifting, and her personality is like no other. If you're looking for a strong, powerful influence, you've come to the right spot. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Chrissy.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I want to give a very, very special shout out to my mom, Christine Adams, on her new podcast. Congratulations, Mom, on your new podcast. I know that everything is going to be great. The people are going to love you just as much as I love you, but they could never love you as much as I love you, because I'm going to always love you the most. I'm so very proud of you. I'm excited for the big things that's going to be coming your way, and I cannot wait to hear for the topics that you'll be discussing. Love you.
Hey, cuz, congratulations. Talking Thick with Chrissy. I like how it sounds. Sounds spicy. I'm checking in live from North Carolina. This is a little cuz. Tell. Let me know. I wouldn't mind being on the show. I got a pretty good conversation. I'm pretty charismatic. But congratulations.
Welcome back to Talking Thick with Chrissy with Dionne Reeves. This has been an awesome show. I have gotten to know you along with my audience because, again,
Yes.
I knew of you, but I didn't know about your story. And I thank
Yes,
you
ma'am.
for sharing your story. I would like for you to tell my audience how they can get in touch with you, how you can build up their confidence and their self-esteem, because I'm going to be there. So let them know how they can reach out to you.
You can find me on I'm at Full Figure Fierce everything on Instagram, TikTok. I'm not on Twitter. I don't tweet. But Instagram, Threads, all of those things, all the social media outlets. I am in the process of having an event. We're getting it together now because I like it. This one is major to me. So I want to make sure that we're doing it the right way. So we are having a love letters event where we're going to teach you how to write one and how to do your mirror time. So I want you guys to please stay connected to us for that. You can stay connected to us through our website, which is www.fullfigurefierce.org. And don't forget to come to the show. Get your tickets for Confiance Experience.
All right, y'all. I want to thank my audience for being there for me tonight. I hope you enjoyed the show. I want to thank my sponsors, Lanita Mitchell Blackwell and David Good. I want to thank Regina Sunshine. I also want to thank Jack Trey. I want to shout out to my kids and my grandbaby. I hope you have a wonderful night and come back to Talking Thick with Chrissy, where we have thick conversations and real connections. Good night, y'all.